Well, another day. And yes, here I am walking again. How y'all doing? Welcome to the Lights Lounge. I'm gonna work on that intro. But anyways, how y'all doing today? Nice of y'all to tap in. Please like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. I'm trying to go live, y'all, but you can't go live until you got 50 subscribers. I only got 4, and I'm very grateful for those 4. But if anybody else want to tap in, please, by all means, do so. Man, I was just on the bus, and before I got on the bus, I guess the bus has a little rest stop off of this road over by where I'm staying at. And the bus driver, he's on the phone loud with his girlfriend or whatever, or his lady friend, whoever. And he's saying some real chauvinistic stuff. But it's okay. I ain't tripping because I ain't got no dog in that fight. It's a free country, I guess. People say what they want. But what I am doing is analyzing this dynamic he got with this female that he's talking to, which is completely toxic. I mean, they got to the point where they can't talk to each other no more for whatever reason. I don't know if she ain't listening or he ain't listening, whatever. Or somebody even feels unheard, whatever. But they sending each other YouTube videos that are saying the things they want to say to each other, or the points that they're trying to prove or get across. And I'm not knocking it. I have done it. But for me, that is one of the signs of a toxic relationship dynamic. Because y'all obviously can't talk no more. Period. I mean, I don't mean to be cliche, but conversation is key. Like, conversation in your relationship will take you a long way. 2 people have to be able to communicate with each other. If there's no communication, there's misunderstanding, there's upset, frustration, discord. Ain't none of that good. And then you could tell from the conversation and his tone and body language that he was frustrated. So then he gets on the bus. This is the bus driver. He gets on the bus and he sees this guy who's got his feet on the seat, and then proceeds to want to give us 3 passengers a lecture on why you shouldn't put your feet on the seat and what's the obvious reason that you shouldn't. You know, to him, the obvious reason that you shouldn't put your feet on the seat was germs. Now, I don't know what kind of city you folks are in and how y'all get around, but the last thing you worried about on the bus is germs from somebody's feet being on the seat. Now, mind you, if they got a little dog poo-poo on their shoe or something like that, okay, then we worried about the germs. But I'm more worried about the sick old lady up front whose mask is falling down, who's coughing. Can we talk about that? If we're going to waste all of the riders' time with this unnecessary lecture about foot germs on seats, as if, we're not consciously aware of germs, at least waste our time with something that maybe, has a little bit more validity. I'm not saying that it's not valid, but that is one of the most minute concerns on the bus. Or with somebody having their feet in the seat. First off, it's disrespectful because, like I said, she might have some dog poo-poo on it or whatever they got on it. You can just walked out of a gas station bathroom. Don't nobody want to sit on that, but I'd rather have my butt on it than be touching with my hands and all that. You don't generally touch the seats of the bus with your hands or your face or things like that. So yeah, it's disrespectful, if anything. And then when you sit like that, what's up, man? When you sit like that, it puts you off balance too. The bus, it rocks when it stops, or you rock when the bus stops because it's centrifugal motion. Having your feet up like that throws you off balance. That cause injury. Don't no bus driver want that. Don't no passenger want that. I mean, unless you're trying to get paid, but you won't get paid from that scenario. But anyways, that's just going off on a tangent. Sorry. So later on the bus ride, say 5 minutes into it, the guy who had his seat up on the feet, he now is eating on the bus. Now, mind you, it's all kind of changes that's going on. And basically, somebody done gotten these people rear end. And yes, I said rear end. I'm an adult, but I don't have to curse. I'm trying to watch my language. Somebody done got in these people rear end at the bus department, the bus depot, whatever, KC Metro, because they enforcing the rules and stuff. Everybody know you ain't supposed to eat on the bus, but don't no driver be tripping about you eating on the bus, especially if you being discreet. Hell, I smoke on the bus. I vape. Vape. No, it's not good for me. I am working on quitting, but I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. Haven't for months. Will I occasionally tap one? Guilty pleasure. And it's not even a pleasure. I don't know why, when the opportunity arises, I feel it necessary to, tap a cigarette or ask somebody for one. Because once I do start smoking it, I swear, it just feels like, literally, it's like poison going into my lungs with every inhale, and I just cannot stomach it. I think it's like a little reminder to myself of why I don't do that anymore. Plus, it stinks. I'm one of those people that you would call a smell freak. That just means I can't appreciate, the versatile life of scents, smells. Don't use your imagination because it ain't like extreme. So, but I don't want to smell like cigarettes. I know what that smells like. I'm telling you, I had some clothes at my friend's house. She smokes Newports, about a pack and a half a day. I was smoking cigarettes back then. And man, I'm telling you, I left clean clothes at her house in one of those plastic packing tubs with the lid on it. And I was gone for about a month. And I came back, smelled my clothes, and they stank like cigarettes. Just nasty. So I value how I smell, and I like to smell good. Whether that's fresh, clean soap and deodorant, or I just spritzed on a little something, And just knowing that my clothes smelled like that, I had to rewash all of them, and I didn't smoke. I stopped buying cigarettes from that day. I'm not gonna say I stopped smoking them. I stopped buying them, but when I ran out of that pack, I was done. I've been vaping ever since, and I want to give that up too. I don't want no crutches in life. I don't want anything holding me back, holding me down, or something that I'm dependent or reliant on. And honestly, it's all bad. But, sorry, semi going by. It's all bad, but my vaping habit really is not even that extreme. I barely even hit this thing. I need to just go ahead and give it up. And you wouldn't believe how easy it is, and I'm saying this from experience, you wouldn't believe how easy it is to just reduce your intake. I mean, I'm one of those people where I learned at a real early age, one of the best things in the world is drinking your morning coffee with a cigarette. And halfway through that coffee, if not when you finish that coffee, let's say halfway through it, you take said cigarette or another one. You go to the bathroom and you take a nice, good morning bowel movement. It is something about pooping and smoking a cigarette, a regular cigarette, not a vape, that it really just gets your bowels going in the morning. Like, it just, if you have constipation issues or you have troubles, getting it out, smoke you a cigarette. I ain't encouraging nobody to smoke. That was just a joke. That was only a joke. But when I did smoke, that was one of the things I enjoyed. But I'm actually fine these days because you know what happens? Once you let go of the dependency, your body gets a chance to reset itself, get back to a stage of normalcy, start to get back into its natural swing or natural flow of how it's supposed to function. And I don't need that cigarette no more. I don't need the cigarette after I eat anymore. Man, I know you cigarette smokers out there, y'all like, oh man, I gotta have that cigarette after I get done eating that good meal. I'm telling you, you wouldn't believe how your body will just reset and re-regulate itself. And one day you'll look up, you don't need that cigarette after your meal no more. And you know what else will help with that? Stop eating till you're that dang on full. Don't eat. I cannot stand eating until I am gut-bustingly full. I love a good buffet because I like variety. I'm not a picky eater, but I am, what is that called? Not a picky, indecisive. I don't be knowing what I want to eat, so I want a little bit of everything. That's perfect for me. But buffets, they just make you overeat. Everybody in there trying to get their little money's worth, All things in moderation until you reach a point of completely Xing them out, We don't have to be unreasonable and just say, oh, you got to give all that up, go cold turkey, and it would be nice. It would be ideal. And for real, all of you are strong enough to do it. And so am I. But being realistic, let's have a little mercy on ourselves, because usually when you make a radical change like that, you radically fall back into habit. I encourage weaning yourself off or weaning down your intake of whatever you're trying to stop doing or get rid of or change. I mean, if it's something that can be weaned, if it's something you just need to go ahead and just stop doing, hey, be strong, meditate, go out and get grounded, put your feet in the grass. If you're the scripture reading type, read some scripture, get tapped in, pray for strength, pray for endurance. Whatever you want in this world, speak it out of your mouth so that you can speak it into existence. Put that energy out there of change. Be optimistic about it, And don't just talk about it, be about it. Well, I'm glad I made this video because this walk I just took, man, I did not want to take this walk. My music player, my YouTube music wasn't working either. Like down here in, I call this the Front Street Bottoms in my city. See the trains and such. Sun going down, it'll be time. Hey, get your sun gazing in, get your downloads. It'll be time to sun gaze soon. It's too early right now, but it's getting close. 30 minutes before sundown and first 30 minutes of sunrise, get your sun gazing on. Get those downloads, get that cosmic knowledge, Let the universe just pour it into you through the light code. That's what you're receiving is a light code. You might not be able to understand or analyze it, but your spirit can. And everything that your spirit knows, you know. That's like in life, we're not really learning lessons per se when it comes to most things. We're getting a reminder. We already know these things. I help people, and when I'm out doing what I do, which is all the time, I literally am able to answer just about every question a person has, whatever that question is. I mean, it don't even have to be on a spiritual subject. It could be about some random question about or a comment about animals. I know all that. I got that sold up. Animals, anyways. But yeah, when I'm doing what I do, Oh, I just found a good lighter, y'all. Oh, and it worked. Yeah, that's a win. Anyways, when I'm doing what I do, I'm given the tools to be able to satisfy the need of whoever that's been brought to me. And answering questions is one of those things that I do. And I've been granted the ability to answer those questions, whatever they may be. That knowledge sometimes, it's not something that I studied, and I've studied a lot of different things just for no reason. I mean, for a reason, because I'll need it someday, even if I don't realize it or don't know it. But I've studied all kind of things without having a foundational purpose, you know. It was something that interested me, so I looked more into it. I mean, anthropology, ancient Egypt, ancient civilizations and cultures, you know, microbiology, biology, whatever you could think of, I guarantee you I have studied it. And when I'm not using that knowledge where I've studied about something, I'm telling you, the answers just come to me. They just come to me. When I'm out helping people, they telling me about their lives, all the things that's going wrong, or how the people around them are treating them. And with a couple questions, I can tell that person every step they need to take and in what direction in order to change their circumstances, in order to fix their life. I do this every day. And you know what? It works. Whatever that specific circumstance is that I've, targeted in on with a person, or whatever they said they needed help with, if they do that thing, they in there. But it's always a catch. And it ain't nothing shady. The catch is just that for most people, in order to change your circumstances in life, you got to do that hard thing. That thing that you've been avoiding doing. Get rid of that toxic relationship you've been in for the past 7, 12 years or whatever, with the codependency, trauma bond, physical, verbal, emotional abuse, and you just hanging on. And then what really upsets me is that, I'm saying all this, and this is true circumstance. I do all this, but man, it is so hard to apply it to my own life. But you know what? We're not going to try to do that. We are going to start doing that, and we're going to get proficient at it. We're going to stay conscious of it, We're going to keep it on the forefront of our brains. Because it's not just about practicing what you preach and the image that you have or the people's outlook on you. It's also about fixing your own situation, if you're in a situation. And most people are in some sort of situation. There's hardly a person alive that, not coming from where I'm from, but there's hardly a person that I know or that I can think of or that I encounter that doesn't have something in their life going on that they really want and need to change. Their choice for the betterment of themselves and their life, But 9 times out of 10, people don't do it. And I understand it. Don't forget, no judgment here. I do understand. But it'd be so easy if, things would be so much more faster moving and without all the emotional upset and difficulty and gosh, I know like if you anything like me and you've dedicated your life to good and righteousness and goodwill for others and helping others and doing what you can to make a difference out here in the right way. Trying your best not to let your flesh override your soul's purpose and get you off track. You know, try not to let outside influences come in and sway your way of thinking for the worse. It's hard. But like I said, if you're anything like me, and most of y'all are, I know your pain. I know you're upset. I know you've gone out of your way, given your last, done everything you can do, and we're still met with unsatisfied people, ungrateful people, people that backstab you, move shifty, screw you over after you've done all that you can for them or done whatever it is that you've done for them. And it's never about how much or what you've done. It's not about that. It's the point of, I'm the person who helped you, but still you turn around and screw me over. And what makes it even worse is that, at least in my line of spiritual work, what I've noticed is that the people who the universe sends my way, they're always people like me, light workers or star seeds or, cosmic warriors, people with spiritual gifts, people with a task, with a purpose, but they are just at their lowest point in life. Like these people, and I've said this to people for years, and I've never had anybody tell me anything differently or say, no, that ain't what happened. But I always, after I get done presenting myself, I tell them, well, I'm here because obviously at some point in the recent past, you have, whether out loud or energetically, been in a state of despair, like ready to give up, throw in the towel, and you or your soul energy has cried out to the universe for justice, for relief. And here I am. And here I am, and I do that. I do that. But the thing you got to remember about these people is that, even though you want to, you can't always resign yourself to just seeing the good in people. Or not just seeing the good, but seeing the good while being blinded to what's right there in front of your face. That might be a hazard to you. Because at the end of the day, people are still people, no matter if they are, I don't want to say special, because I don't want to make it seem like I'm singling anybody out. I don't want no issues. Don't come for me. Period. I mean, no, you can come for me, because no weapon formed against me. And I'm ready for everything. But anyways, those people who, they're special. They have a task. They have a mission. At least the ones who I come for. Some of them, they know. Some of them, they don't know. They feel it, but they don't know what that feeling is or can't explain it, can't describe it, whatever. Some people know how to use their gifts and they're in full consciousness of it. Other people, they've done a thing or two and they kind of like, oh, I'm just crazy, I'm just tripping. And then there's just some that, they completely green, you got to break them in. But it's the most satisfying thing in life to see that light bulb go off in somebody's head, at the least. I mean, I tap into a little bit more than just seeing the aha moment, but yeah, just knowing that they just had some type of confirmation. That's what I live for, because it awakens them. It awakens something in them, a spark, a drive, a motivation. It soothes something within them, comforts them, because most of us are out here alone or feeling alone. Either one is just bad. Most of us are thinking there's just us, nobody else, or nobody understands, or we identify that some of these people that's running around out of their mind around here, they supposed to be the us. But some people, they've already lost their battle. God can do anything. I can't. I do what I'm told. But God can't do anything. But it's just, I ain't got no dog in that fight either. That's not my line of, I say, expertise, because I've never been sent to help or assist anybody in that state of mind. Although, by rights, I have enough knowledge, intellect, and wisdom regarding such matters to be a psychologist, family counselor, or I wouldn't be doing this. And I don't need some, government of the state or something to ordain me to do anything, because the only authority that matters to me is God's authority. And making sure that I'm in alignment with Him and doing what He says I can do. Going the direction that He's pushing me to go. Well, that's just a little bit about me, since I haven't gotten around to all that for real. But I have reached my destination. I'm at my other homie's place, another little camp. Excuse me. What's up, y'all?
I don't know Bill's here.
But
I don't know Bill's here.
he better be here, and I just talked to him and told him, don't go nowhere. Bill. All right, well, I'll holler at y'all later.